Today on Randy Reviews It, we find out if a Micro 9 from one of my favorite companies does enough to keep me happy, or if it's going to end up on the trading block like all the other Micro 9s have so far. Today, we talk about the Shadow Systems CR920. Stick around. Hey everybody, Randy Reviews It here. So today we're talking about the Shadow Systems CR920. Now I was really excited to try this. I've been trying out Micro 9s lately just to see, one, if there's something that my girlfriend might like to carry because she's complained that a lot of my guns are just too big for her hand. So we've been going through the process of trying different Micro 9s. And if you've watched the channel before, you know I'm a big fan of Shadow Systems. This pistol just, furthered my passion for Shadow Systems. Not because I actually like the gun all that much. So let's get into it. So I got this gun in a trade, and it had a different red dot on there. It had like a 2 MOA EPS carry. Because of my astigmatism, I'm not a fan of 2 MOA dots. It was showing up, so I threw my 6 MOA 407K on here. Well, the person before me that had this did not use a torque wrench. They torqued that thing down. I was able to get the screws out, but they cracked. So I contacted Shadow Systems because there were 2 screws stuck down on the slide. And I said, hey, I got this gun in a trade. This happened. I'll cover repairs or anything like that. They said, just send the gun in. So sure enough, they sent me packaging. I sent the gun in. Within a week, it was back at my house with 2 new screws and the screws taken out of there. I was able to get this mounted. So Shadow Systems customer support is still holding strong. It's still amazing. Mind you, I want to say that was the week around, what was it? The gun show in Nevada. SHOT Show. I don't know why I was drawing a blank. But it was right around SHOT Show that they actually repaired this for me. So even more impressive. There's a lot of this gun I like and a few things that I think they could do better. And if they did make those changes, I'd probably be more inclined to purchase that one. So let's get into it. It's got the typical Shadow Systems trigger. This is the combat version, which they're probably no longer making. It's either going to be Foundation or Elites. They're kind of done with the combat version, which is a shame because I actually like the combat versions of these guns more than any others. So the trigger is about a 5.5, 6 pound. It's nothing that light, but I wouldn't want anything that light. It's still pretty smooth to roll through. And these guns only get better with time. I have like almost 6,000 rounds through one of my DR920s, and that trigger has really smoothed out. It's got the bronze barrel. I love that, the finish on it. It's got amazing sights. The iron sights right out of the box are they're typical like Ameriglows with the blacked out rear, and great out of the box. You really don't need to put a red dot on this, but that's the great thing about Shadow Systems is their mounting system for red dots is amazing as well. This takes like kind of the K footprints, and it has little bumpers. You can kind of see in front of the red dot there. It takes little bumpers to hold this thing snug. So depending on your different red dots, you put the different bumper plates in there. You use the different screws, whatever you want. You put it on this gun. The recoil impulse is surprisingly good on this. So One of the new things I'm doing with my videos is I'm measuring muzzle rise, with the Mantis X. So right up here is going to be the muzzle rise for the CR920 right about now. All right. So the muzzle rise is pretty good on this. I enjoyed shooting it. The only thing I would say is they did take off a little part of the beaver tail. So I do get bit a little bit by this gun. But the recoil impulse on this and the trigger on this was better than the Hellcat Pro. Both me and my girlfriend thought so. And I like this gun a lot. It's got the texturing of Shadow Systems. It's got the undercuts. It's got a lot of good things going for it. So what about it bothers me? One, the slide bite. The thing that I just mentioned. They took a little bit too much off the beaver tail. I wish they would have left that or made like a different little strap. I know Big Timber Lodge did something on like the 43X, being able to add a beaver tail. I might see if I can do that for this. So, because it's not fun to get bit. And I like to shoot my carry guns a lot. So, that's not fun. So, I'd like to try to mitigate that. The next thing, and this is the real stickler with this gun for me, is the way that the mag is set up. So, you get the extended mag with it. And then let's take a look here. You get this other mag with it. So both of them kind of have a lip. We'll put that other one in to show you. It's a little bit less on the back side for printing. You still get a pretty decent grip on the front, but it has 2 less rounds in it. And then you put this in and you get a better purchase. It's got 13 rounds in this. However, one of the things I was running into at the range is when I was ejecting the mag, it's not coming out. Why? The meat of my hand, when you're trying to eject this, it's pressing on it just a little bit. Or to get the mag to come out, you really got to rotate your grip, bring it up so that nothing's touching the mag in order for it to drop free. So you see, it's got like how I would normally grip the gun and then switch to drop the mag out. It only comes to there if it does come out at all. And then I have to take it the rest of the way because of how they do that extended mag. So what would I like to see different on this? Like the Hellcat Pro, like the Sig Macro, I wish they would have extended the grip. I was kind of disappointed this year at SHOT Show to see the XR920P and the MR920P come out instead of an extended grip version of this, because that I would buy in a second. If you just made it to about there, where that Hellcat Pro is, where that Sig is, so you're looking at like a 15 round micro 9 type thing. This is very slim, it's very comfortable. If the grip was longer so that mags drop free for someone with larger hands, I would be smitten with this gun. There's still the chance of the beaver tail bite me, but it's not an every shot type thing. And I feel like it might just be worth it. But overall, the gun is very good. It's got a little accessory rail here. It's got stippling all over like what you'd expect. It's just an overall great gun. I do think that the only mags I actually really like in it are the extended ones. Like this little one, I don't really get the point. I mean, it's a little more concealable, but you're losing 2 rounds, and you still got this front end part that, depending on where you carry, would be concealing. If you're carrying this appendix, I don't think there's much difference between these two. If you're carrying, you know, like inside the waistband, you could argue that maybe there's a little bit of difference, but there isn't that much to move away from this that I think is a lot better grip as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, overall, the Shadow Systems CR920, a great gun, but it could be so much better if Shadow Systems made this grip a little bit longer. I know that they have the CR920P out there, which has the recoil, has a compensator on it to mitigate recoil. I'm not a fan of comps. I do a lot of shooting and it's under a pavilion, and the comps really rattle your brain if you're shooting for like an extended day. Plus, it's just they get dirty. The gun gets a little dirtier. Potential reliability issues, all those things. I'm not willing to compromise it for just a little bit of recoil mitigation. Maybe I'll shoot a CR920P down the road. If it mitigates that much for me, I might be interested. But as of right now, I'm pretty happy with just the CR920 barrel and the length of it. Unhappy with the length of the grip. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.